Hi there, my name is Andrew. I am a new college grad, and I'm currently taking a gap year while also applying to medical school. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the Casper exam today, which I took a little bit over a month ago. I was able to score in the 4th quartile after just one day of prep. So to briefly describe the Casper exam, it's a 90 to 110 minute test that's proctored on the computer with a typed and written section aimed to measure how ethical or how good your bedside manners would be if you worked in the healthcare field. As of right now, from 2023 to the 2024 medical school cycle, only a score is assigned to the typed portion of the exam. However, this may change in future years. You can find more information about the exam in the links below, or you can do your own deep diving on the Casper Altus website. However, the rest of this video will just be talking about what I did to prepare for the exam. So just to preface, I did study for this exam solely only one day beforehand of dedicated work. However, I did go through other people's experiences on other YouTube videos and online forums to see how others prepared. The Casper exam didn't seem like something I could study for through a textbook, and so for me, I didn't read any books on bioethics or rights and responsibilities. I didn't do any of that. I believe the best thing that you can do for yourself is to familiarize yourself with the exam. So after you sign up for a Casper test date, the Casper Altus portal allows you to take practice exams. These practice exams are structured in the exact same format that you'll have for the real exam. They'll have different scenarios and different questions. However, the spacing of timing and the style of questions will remain the same. Because of the structure of the exam, it's likely an exam format that you've never really dealt with before. And so I believe one of the best things you can do is familiarize yourself with the overall format, how much you need to type or say per question in order to fit all of your thoughts in. And so if you only had 1 hour to prepare for this exam, I believe the best way to budget your time would simply be to run through that practice exam. Now, for a second tip, if you have more than 1 hour to prepare, I would advise you to have a generalized structure for answering certain questions, whether that's in the video or the typed format. For example, one way that I structured my responses was I first identified the problem at hand, gave examples of the two different perspectives at hand, my role and responsibility as, let's say, a friend or a coworker in the given situation. Then I would talk about what my decision would be in this scenario, and then 5, I would justify that decision. And clearly there's not that much time to answer in Casper, so do your best to be clear and concise in your answers because you'll have a lot of responses to get through. And this generalized format isn't something that I came up with by myself. I had actually looked at Reddit for examples of how to answer these questions. Looking and hearing other people's experiences on how they answered or formatted their questions can be a really great way of tackling the Casper. After learning the format of the exam by taking practice tests, and then coming up with generalized structures to answer the questions, the last thing that I did was practice my typing. And this sounds kind of silly and ridiculous, but for a lot of the question and typing responses, you only have a minute or so per typing response. It's imperative that you get your ideas across as fast as possible, but also you want to be able to convey both sides, your rationale, and your decision making. One of the best things you can do for that is simply just get your typing speed up. For me, as a lifetime gamer, I probably have 90 to 100 words per minute as my typing speed. So I didn't find it too challenging to get through the typing section of the test, but I know for some people who don't spend all day at the computer, this can be kind of challenging. If your typing speed is a little bit on the lower side, it is okay, but I would just advise to practice typing your overall typing speed a couple weeks or a couple days leading up to your exam, just so you have that speed for those really quick typing sections. In summary, familiarizing yourself with the exam is probably the most important thing. Coming up with generalized structures and just taking typing exams are more secondary. Another added note, I've never really had a problem with talking with people through interviews. However, if that is something you struggle with, perhaps it would be beneficial to prop up a camera or use the webcam that you'll use for your real Casper exam and practice just talking in front of it. Because sometimes the day of we'll get testing nerves or testing anxiety, and just the fact that the camera's staring back at us can be something that really scares us. So addressing those holes in your overall Casper test taking process can probably increase your overall score. If you have any other questions or comments about how I prepared for the Casper exam or anything in general, just feel free to leave it in the comments or contact me through my socials below. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.